And here it asks, are you alcoholic? I say no. Are you addicted? I say yes. And as you can see,
you're fired. Get out of here.
And now we will learn how to make such program with conditional statements in CSharp. From normal if and else to one-line if statement. Part 1, if and else. Imagine that we want to make a program that asks for user's age. If user's age was above 18, it shows welcome, otherwise it shows access denied. I'm sure you know where it's used. First I code it and then I explain it to you. Here we say int age equals convert dot to int 32, and then I say console.readline, and before that I say console.writeline, and I say what's your age, and here I say if parentheses age was greater than 18. And then inside curly braces, I say console.writeline welcome, and then I say else and console.writeline again, and I say access denied. Now I execute my program. It asks for our age. If I say 17, it says access denied, and if I say, for example, 19, it will say welcome. Okay, let me explain them to you. You may confused. First we have our if here. If means we want to make a condition. Between these parentheses, we write our condition. Here our condition was the age should be above 18. This is the greater than operator. I will explain all the operators in a few minutes. But for here, just have in mind the left one should be greater than the right one. Then we'll write the curly braces, open and close. And between these two, we write our code that we want to be executed if our condition was true. If it's false and our condition didn't happen, CSharp will simply ignore what we wrote between these curly braces. And then we have the else here. That will execute what we wrote between these curly braces only when our if condition is false. So here our number come in. If it's greater than 18, here it says welcome. And if it's 18 or less, it will come here and say access denied. Part 2, else if. And now we want to code a program that gets user's score and then print us in the console that if it's a good score or not. First I code and then I explain it. Here I say console.writeline enter your score. And then I say int score equals convert to int 32 console.readline. And then here I say if score was greater than 90. Print in the console. Amazing. Need a little space here. And then we say else if. Again parentheses, and we say score this time above 80. And I print in the console. Good job. And then another else if. This time I say score above 70, and I say not bad, not last. I say else and print for me console.writeline try harder. And I execute my code. Let's say I got 85, and as you can see, the good job. I hope your parents aren't judgy like that. As you noticed, when we need more conditions, like how we need in our program, we use else if. Just like if, you write your condition between parentheses and write what you want to be executed inside curly braces. If the if condition is false, it will go through the else if. And if the else if condition is false too, it will go through the next else if. And if this one is false too, it will go through the else. And if one of these conditions are correct, it will execute the code inside the curly braces. Part 3, comparison operators. Totally we have 6 comparison operators. First we go for greater than. It will check if the left number is bigger than the right number. And if it is, it will return a true. If not, it will return a false for us. Second, we have the less than operator. Here I say less than. As you can see, it's pretty similar to that, but this one checks if the left number is less than the right number. Here if I execute it, as you can see, I got true here. And third, we have greater or equal. Let me show you. Here I say greater or equal. For example, if I say 10 here and execute my code, As you can see, I got true, because here I say the left number should be greater or equal to the right number. And fourth, I have less than or equal. This one checks if the left number is less than or equal to the right number. If I execute my code, as you can see, I got true again. Fifth, we have equal, equal. This one checks that if the left number and the right number are exactly equal. And execute my code. And as you can see, I got another true. And the sixth one and the last one is not equal. Here I say not equal and execute my code. As you can see, I finally got a false. This one checks if the left number and right number are not equal. In this case, because A and B both were 10, it returned a false. Now that we have these operators, let's update our first program that we made. Here in the condition we said we want our user's age to be above 18. So here instead of greater than, we say greater than or equal. And then we execute our code. And we say 18. And as you can see, I got the welcome. Part 4. Logical operators. Now we want to make a program that checks user's age and also checks if they carry ID card or not. If both conditions are true, it will let them enter. And if not, we will stop them and write a message in the console. So here I say console.writeLine, enter your age please. Int age equals convert.toInt32 console.readLine. And then I ask the second question, console.writeLine, do you carry your ID card? And question mark, of course. And then I say who is card convert to boolean console.readLine. And then I say if age was greater than or equal 21 and his card is true, print for me welcome to the club. And else I write in the console that access denied. And I execute my code. Ask for name, I say 19. Do I carry my ID card? True. And as you can see, I got access denied. So what's this sign? Well, it's AND. It will combine the conditions. So now if I want my if to be executed, both conditions in the left and right side of AND should be true. And even if one of them is false, it will not execute what's inside the curly braces. And by the way, there is a better way to get a boolean from user. Here I say console.readLine and I say equals yes. And here I say yes or no. So now if I execute my program, for age I say 25, and if I say yes here, it will count it as true. Yes, and as you can see, it counted as true. That's because here we said equal yes. If I say equal P8 for example, and if I execute my code for age 25 again, and I say P8 here, and as you can see, I got into the club and this one returned a true for me. And by the way, when you have a boolean variable, you don't need to write it like that equal true. Simply write it like this, it does the job. And by the way, we have OR too. This one will execute our if, even when only one of our condition is true. For example, we want to make program for army recruiting department. And we want to check and see if the user is alcoholic or addicted. And if he is one of them, we surely don't hire him. Probably. Okay, let's code it. Here we say console.writeLine, are you alcoholic? Such a honest question, and we want user to answer with yes or no. And in the next line we say who is alcoholic, and I say console.readLine. Then I say equals yes. So if user enter yes, I get true. And then for the next question, I copy this and I say, are you addicted? I say, is addicted. And then we say, if is addicted or is alcoholic. Then we say console.writeLine, in the console you are fired. And in the else I say console.writeLine, welcome to the army. And I execute this code. And here it asks, are you alcoholic? I say, no. Are you addicted? I say, yes. And as you can see,
You're fired. Get out of here.
and at last we have the not operator. It will reverse the condition. We want to write a program that don't let gas to enter our home. Pretty useful, isn't it? Let's code. Here we say console.writeLine, are you a guest? And user should answer with yes or no. And in the next line I say bool is guest equals console.readLine, and then I say equal yes, and then we say if not is guest, console.writeLine open door, and then in else we say sorry, we are not home. So as you can see, if I execute my code and I write yes, I'm a guest. So now his guest need to be false, so our if condition is true. All because of not operator that reversed the condition. Part 5, and finally, one line if. We want to make a program that gives you 50% discount if you are under 18. And if you are under 25, it gives you 20%. And if you are above 25, it gives you no discount. Remember, we should write it with one line if. Let's code. Here we say enter your age. Int age equals convert .to int 32, and then we say console.readLine. Here we say int discount equals parentheses age should be less than or equal 18, and then we say return 50 for us for 50% discount, and then we say else another condition if age is under or equal 25. This time return 20% for us. Otherwise, return 0 for us. And here, console.writeLine, your discount is, and plus discount symbol. I execute this code and ask for my age, and I say, for example, 19. And as you can see, I got 20% discount. You probably got confused. Let me explain it for you. Here, it's our if. We write our condition here. And with the question mark, we write what we want to happen or what we want to return if our condition was true. And then we have our column. Column is basically else. But here, because we have another condition too, it's else if. When this condition didn't happen, it will come here and go through this condition. In this condition, we said age should be less than 25 or equal 25. If it is, it will return 20 for us. Otherwise, it will return 0. So if I execute my code again, and for example, I say 33, and as you can see, I got 0 discount. You just watched the 5th episode of free CSharp tutorial series. You can watch the full playlist from here. And by the way, I have a Discord server that is a friendly community for programmers. The link is in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.